What do you got going on in your car?
Where I going out?
Yeah,
Technician?
you're a technician of.
Audio visual.
This is for computers, right?
Kind of. Networking.
So, like, do you have xylophones back there or what?
No.
Technician of sound. So, what does sonically mean?
Sonically?
Yeah. Professional?
Sure.
No, I'm asking, are you one? Sure looks like it.
Yeah.
You're a professional. What's sonic mean?
I don't know.
Damn, that's you low end. What is tablature?
Tablature?
Come on, yeah, you're acting like you're a janitor of your company.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by.
So, what are you doing this for the school?
No, I'm here to pick up my kid.
You're picking up a kid. Is it your kid?
Yeah.
And you're gonna teach him like something about your business? Is this your truck or is this someone else's? So you work for this company?
Yeah.
Then you don't know what sonic or tablature is. Just in general,
What is sonic? Tell me.
Sonic is a description of sound. And I don't know, I thought you would, but apparently not. In court, there's, when everyone says, if you agree, say aye, and then they say if you don't, say nay. What is that in the music world or sound? In court, they have everyone say if you agree, say aye, and then everyone at the same time says it. It's very chorus-like. Have you seen this?
No.
You've never seen this. You know what a javel is?
Instrument, isn't it?
It's an instrument used in the court of law. That's,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Low end. But he's got a professional truck. Give him that. You guys, hey, what are we doing over here? You're painting a rock. Is there going to be a music note? Because this guy, sound design might help you.
No, it's her birthday.
And then how do you take off the paint? You spray it. So how many coats does that have on it?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Every day they paint it, but it's a new color.
Did you say have a good day? This guy told me have a good day like I wasn't done talking.
So,
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
every day they paint it, but it's a new thing. They just started this year, so there's probably not too many.
It looks like this guy's doing it. Why isn't anyone else?
No, we're just parents.
I don't care. This is kind of weird.
It's not really weird.
How many coats does this have on it?
We don't know.
School. I have no clue. It's part of the school.
So before you started painting, what was on there before?
Happy birthday.
Did you take off what was on there before, or are you painting over it?
We used to spray paint over it.
In the 1950s and 60s, there was like this whole club where people started doing dirt in DC, and nowadays is a swamp with a culmination of on top of that dirt. And it's just beyond that fifth generational warfare that the dirt has been placed over globally. And so when there's people thinking that you're an adult at a kid table, that's when you know. They're spray painting over it. So I can only imagine how many coats are on there is more than 2. We're getting somewhere. No, I just saw like happy birthday and now you guys are going for more.
Yes.
Or less.
Yep.
Because in Cedarburg, I see the end result of those ice sculptures. And this guy's giving his rendition of something. So if it's a frog, why are you doing it black?
It'll eventually be
The
green.
frog is not. The frog is gonna be green. Good luck. A Freudian slip, but physically. It even sounds right because the action of slipping is an adjective. And so it's like this whole mentality. And then mentalities is, I said earlier, sound is sonically and air. Air is what sound pushes as. So they're really closely together. When someone says you're an airhead, or that's airy, that's long-winded, it's whimsical. And with sound, obviously there's like a high-pitched siren, but if you compare a high-pitched siren to other things of its energy, its hertz, it is minuscule. So it's only like the bleeding of your ears. That would be, one way of going out, but no, seriously, it's minuscule. Sound is not like the ultimate lowest common denominator. And these things with mentalities, whereas that's why mentally it isn't like a burden as much as it is physically. And this is really like tongue-in-cheek, is because there's a lot of like physicality that is, let's just say, like, would you rather like be brain dead or just like physically disabled? And I think that most, not all, but most would say I'd rather be physically disabled. And you can just say like, this is horrific, the worst thing I've ever heard. No, but really, I've been tried to put on the disabled list by professionals more than once, and it's not the case. And it just pisses me off every time these handicapped people, they fly into like these handicap spots and they get out and they're not handicapped. I know it's wrong to talk about it, but it looks a lot of the time like they're on drugs, and they're so cocky about it because they have this extra room to park in their handicap spot, so they never even park correctly. Like this whole implication. And it's just like, here's some more examples of like this Freudian slip, but physically. If like someone is always carrying around a whole bunch of peaches inside like these fruit cups in a box, and so they would say peachy a lot, or dandelions in a box. If they work in florals, a whole bunch of dandelions, they would say dandy. But no, what would you say to a kid? Is my impetus was like, how do you speak to a kid? It's always like you use confidence and stuff a little bit brainy. It's like, I've got two eyes, got one on you, and I got two on you. And the kid would interpret that as like, wow, he's serious about what he's saying, even though it doesn't make sense. And this is just stuff like I would be scripting in order to make it more pleasant, so I don't talk about chemical injections, because it's to some degree equivalent. But things that are whimsical, like with sound and air, there's like a place for it. It does exist. So putting that in the middle is like a quantum jump. You got to jump over something to excitate. And just like going against the grain, you need like a difference of grains. So this like median is where you would put like a sound design and air. This is gray matter. There's an area for gray matter, this whole white noise. But it's not to like put, and this is when someone puts it, they do this all the time. It's like they do 2 repetitions and you're on track to do like 200 repetitions. And they say, look how easily that it is. Look at, and they just do 2. That's huge because it speaks volumes and numbers. Because it's solid state structures, because I think distortion is like a property of more than you think it would, because the basis of niche, if it can get distorted and then seem popularized, if we're not smart enough to call a spade, and it's built into the system. The javel, they smack that javel and it gives this assurance. Red ribbon, you cut a red ribbon to walk onto a red carpet. Like, we're bodies that walk the earth, so we're land, the divide of the equivalent, the crossover. The propaganda wouldn't be necessary if the situation was hopeless. So when you start hearing propaganda being professionalized, it's equivalent to the following. Fishing, it's fishermen, you fish for fish. But a fishing hook line, you ask one person in the world, have they ever caught an otter or a beaver? Well, not intentionally, but that I bet has happened at least for one person. And that one person who caught that, the difference of animal cruelty between a fish and a beaver is drastically apparent. During that moment in time, they knew that they caught, their hand got stuck in the cookie jar. But no, if it were, you had 1,000 fish lines next to a beaver dam, you can make damn sure that it's going to catch a beaver if it's there 24/7. And then just if you had these ads running on TV of not to fish for beavers, and everyone thought that fishing for beavers was happening because all the governors and popular entertainers went on talk shows and were talking about this. All this is made possible through things that shouldn't, like having a cold be a common cold as disease. And so the divide of these things is night and day, but it's like a totality eclipse when they start speaking this way. And they have the government of the governing powers saying that this is the way it is, and with what martial law. There's like army people in the subway in New York checking bags, and everyone on TV is like, yeah, if you don't want your bags checked, you can stay home.